Hello there, survivors! Welcome back to another video on ARK Survival Ascended. Today, I'm showing you 10 great base building locations on the Svartalfheim map. Now, most of these should be okay on both versions of the map. The free console crossplay version and as well the premium version on PC right now. I think eventually it's also coming to all platforms, but right now it's only on PC. I am on that premium version, but most of these locations I think were already in the normal version of the map as well. With that being said, let's go explore this beautiful map, Svartalfheim, that looks amazing. And let me know down in the comments where you would like to see me build on any of these locations, and if you want to see me venture back into Svartalfheim on this premium version of the map. Now let's get started with the base locations. The first location is right here on the beach. It's the easy spawn on the map. There's not really that much danger around, so a really good area to get started. And you have the perfect little cave hidden away here on the beach that you can use as a little hideout until you are strong enough to start exploring the rest of the map. As you can see, it's a nice roomy cave. You can definitely build a pretty decently sized base here. Keep some dinos in there even. Close it up with a gate to be safe. And you'll have fairly easily have a nice starter base. Maybe, get ready for your dwarven roots on this map by building underground a little bit. But it's definitely a good spot to get started before you get moving to the rest of the map. Especially if you're going to use the no flyer rule the map was designed with. Because then you can use this area to get started, get some good tames before you start exploring more inland. Another great spot, or a beautiful spot I should say, is over to the side, also on the coast. But this is the Blossom area, and it's really quite lovely here. You've got these amazing blossom trees all around, some pink flowers on the ground as well. And this is definitely a very pretty place if you want to build your base. I mean, the surroundings look very nice. If you look a little bit further, you see this little, almost like an island. There's a little river dividing this area from the rest, which makes it a very safe place. It's a little bit raised up as well, so you should have no problem of making this a safe place to build a big base. And the best thing is, besides having your own dwarven statue, you also have some ruins on this island as well that you could use as the start of your base. Maybe rebuild them a little bit, and you'll have a pretty cool looking base right here on the coast with lovely little pink blossom trees all around you. And if you don't like the look of this place and you want to be even more secluded, you've got this little extra island on the side, almost on the edge of the map, that you could definitely also turn into a beautiful place. The only downside to this, of course, you're not connected really to any of the mainland, so you need to use a boat, or maybe even get some water tames to get across each time. Another great reason to choose this spot is you're very close to this location with a epic looking dwarven gate, which currently is closed, but I'm pretty sure in the future this will have some awesome secrets to explore. Then another great spot is this little ruin that's placed on a big stone pillar in the landscape, only accessible by this broken down bridge, which will get you there. And it's a pretty cool place to build a base, pretty safe as well, because only the bridge is the way in. So definitely easy to get yourself sorted here. Maybe rebuild the ruin into a nice castle of your own. You should be good to go. It's in a pretty nice location on the map as well, so you shouldn't have too much problem, getting around. It's quite easily accessible. There's some paths leading up to this place, so easy to find your way back. And of course, just a very cool looking location if you don't want to go underground. And speaking of going underground, our next location is actually these dwarven halls, which are very cool. You could definitely turn into an amazing dwarven base. You've got two entrances. This is the first one right here, and then we can go inside. And eventually you come to this main area that is quite big. There's a lot of light in here as well from the crystals, from a little gap in the ceiling, which makes it that it doesn't feel too dark here to actually build and live here. There's some existing infrastructure already with these amazing looking bridges. There's some homes even. There's one of the forge locations as well, so you can craft all this stuff related to the mod map. And yeah, I mean, it's just a very cool looking place, especially if you're going for the full Dwarven theme to, you know, take full advantage of this map. I feel like this is the perfect place to start your Dwarven kingdom. And as I said, there's 2 entrances, so there's another exit right here. So you have 2 ways to enter and leave into the rest of the map from, which seem to be perfect to also close off with a gate. So this is truly your Dwarven kingdom and no one can come in uninvited. Then we have the big central mountain in almost like the middle of the map. And it's a big one. There's definitely a few spots on this mountain that could be good to build a base. You've got some platforms all around the top that could be good to build on, but there's also a lot of resources, so you might want to be smart about where you actually want to build. And then as you look from the top, there's a big gap into the mountain, which has this perfect flat platform that you could definitely use to build a big base on. And you've got a nice view of the map. You've got some nice access in the means of walkways going up to this mountain and up to this central part inside of the mountain, so you could still kind of live out your Dwarven dreams of living inside a mountain, but having easy access in and out and just being in a very nice central place on the map with a lot of access and a lot of cool views of your surroundings, which, I mean, that is always also very important, that you like the way it looks. And of course, if you use the S dinos from the same mod maker, then the Maywing will be a great companion if you live here, to fly from either your front door and especially from the top of the mountain, because I'm pretty sure you could glide pretty much anywhere. And the next base location is actually one of the floating islands here on the map, which, I mean, first of all, looks amazing and of course is a very safe place to live. You can access them actually quite easily. You can find these little shrines on the map close to where the floating islands are, and then you just walk onto the platform and you'll be teleported on top of the floating island. And there, of course, you can build to your heart's content without having to worry for any danger, since there is no natural flyers spawning on this map by default, because it's meant to be played without flyers. So this will be an amazing place just to build your base without having to worry. These islands look amazing. This first one has this beautiful tree on it, which I would definitely try keeping around as one of the highlights here. And I mean, it's just a cool spot. You have some nice views around you. And again, if you use a Maywing, you can probably glide pretty far just starting out from your base. So probably very nice and very convenient to use. And I mean, it would just look very cool having a big build on top of one of these floating islands. And I say one of these because there is another floating island on the map next to the central mountain. It's a little bit bigger as well, so it's definitely a good place to build on. And again, it's just a very unique way to build a base. You're high above the sky, very central in this case as well, so with a Maywing you could pretty much float anywhere. Of course, this island as well you access by one of these shrines, actually located right at the foot of this central mountain. It looks very cool. There's some cool Dwarven statues near here, so you could even combine these two places if you really want to build a lot. And again, you just use the platform to teleport up to the mountain, and this one looks amazing. You got some very unique trees as well that I would try to keep around. You got a nice looking white with red one, and you've got some blossom trees up here as well with a little pond, waterfall, a Dwarven statue actually. This one is a little bit bigger as the first one, so you can definitely build a nice big base here, and it would probably look very, very cool. Just because of the location, you could fly pretty much anywhere, or glide with the Maywing, I should say, pretty much anywhere from this location. And the looks of this place would just be amazing, because you can see pretty much the entirety of the map. And yeah, of course, you don't have to worry about your safety, because you are very much safe on here. And even without any builds, this place just looks very nice. Like, it's very peaceful, very cool place to live and build a base. There's actually quite a lot of snow areas on this map, so I wanted really to include a cool snow location. And I think this is one of the better ones if you want to have as much freedom as you possibly get. It's just a nice big area that has a lot of potential for a nice big base. There's this cool bridge leading to it, and then you've got this big platform on top of the snow. It's not completely flat, but it still has a lot of space here to build on. The only thing would be that you will really need to take some measures to make it a little bit more safe, because as you can see, there's definitely a lot of hostile mobs in this area, so you probably want to take care of that by planting down some turrets or some plants to make it a little bit safer before you start building. But then you would have a lot of space here on the mountain. I probably would build on this little piece sticking out. You've got a nice view. You're close to the red obelisk as well. You've got some cool pathways leading up to the top of the mountain. There's definitely some nice rock formations in the background as well that you could definitely use as part of your base. And yeah, I think you could definitely, if you want to, build a very cool big base here. The only downside would be you will have to invest some time in making this place safe, because there's definitely a lot of hostile dinos spawning here, so you would have to take some action. But I think it would be worth it if you really want to live in the snow. It's a pretty cool place to build. Another cool place to live would be this Otter castle, or the Otter ruins at the edge of the redwoods. I wouldn't mind living in the redwoods on this map, because for one, you've got some amazing looking as diabears, as thylas. There's some cool armor for these mobs as well, so it's definitely a cool area to explore. And this little ruin might be the perfect place to set up your base, because you're right on the edge, so you're not in too deep, not too dangerous, and you still have easy access to the rest of the map. And these ruins, I mean, they form a nice base to start with, and maybe to try and rebuild. And especially if you're into otters, you'll have some very cool and unique decoration around that, yeah, you might find very inspiring. There's a lot of statues of otters around, obviously, that look very cute and probably are a nice little added bonus as decoration. There's a pretty sizable ruin here, so you can definitely make a pretty big base with some awesome details everywhere, some different buildings, some different structures that you could try and rebuild into your own things for all your needs, for the greenhouse, the main build, the castle, the storage, whatever you've got planned. There's definitely enough room for it, but you have to like otters, I think, because otherwise this place might drive you a little bit crazy. But it's definitely a very cool and unique place to try and live and rebuild. And of course, you are right on the edge of the redwoods, in the start of the redwoods, which for itself is a very cool looking area, a unique area. And yeah, this might be a great place to call home if you want to live close or in the redwoods. And the surroundings are actually very nice, because besides the redwoods, you also have a lot of these blossom trees right next to your base as well, to again have that nice look around you. So definitely wouldn't mind building here. And then there is one more place to call home that I would suggest. If you're brave enough and you speak friend to enter, you can actually go down to this new area. This is new on the premium version of the mod, and it's very much inspired by the Halls of Moria from the Lord of the Rings, which, I mean, obviously makes it an amazingly cool place to try and reclaim to live out your full dwarven glory days. And this place is huge. So if you're brave enough and you come down here, you could definitely reclaim a bit of Moria and start building your base somewhere in this big ruin, because there's a lot of places. There's also a lot of dangerous stuff here, so you definitely will need some form of security, but there are definitely some places like these platforms where you could easily build something. Obviously there's some bigger areas down here, but again, you will have to have some form of protection because of course dinos do in fact spawn down here as well, so you probably want to make sure you have some security measures. And if you go even deeper into the mines, there's some more cool stuff there, because who wouldn't want to live in a place like this? I mean, these halls are truly epic. This is what it means like to live in a dwarven kingdom, so I feel like this would be a very cool place to try and rebuild in. Again, there could be some dangers around, but as long as you are able to take care of that, it would definitely be a cool place to live in. And of course, be careful that you don't delve too deep into the mountain, because you never know what you might find there. And there you go, 10 great locations, I think, to build your base. If you're gonna build anywhere, let me know, because I would love to see what you build there. You can share your builds on Twitter with me, or maybe join my Discord and share them there. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know, should I venture into Svartalfheim once again to see what kind of cool things we can build and what cool adventures we can have there. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.